It just goes so well with this Halloween inspired silhouette.
Perfect.
Hello there broskis, I hope you're doing well. And if you're new here, I'm Erkin and this is the life of a broski, where I do sneaker reviews and unboxings. So if that's your cup of tea, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now we are in the month of October at the time of recording this video, and that can only mean one thing. At the end of this month, it is Halloween. So whilst all those trick-or-treaters are out and about, or even trying to egg some houses, for us sneakerheads, we look forward to the Halloween packs by the big brands. And on today's episode, I actually have the Nike Air Max 90 Spiderweb. Now of course we are going to look at the box before we dive into this sneaker, and again we've got the red generic Nike box, which we all know and love, and the product information is Nike Air Max 90 black, smoke grey and limelight. So that's pretty much it with the box. Now the Air Max 90s were released alongside the Blazers, and to my knowledge I know there is an Air Max Plus Spiderweb edition too, but at the time of recording this I don't think they're actually out yet. But out of the Blazers and the 90s, in my opinion there's only going to be one winner. Now these were released on the 17th of October and these are retailing for £115 here in the UK, and if you are thinking of getting a pair, I will leave some links down below. Now the Air Max 90 being arguably my favourite Air Max of all time, I was very interested to see if this Spiderweb pack would add any more sauce to this legendary sneaker. But going around this Air Max 90 Spiderweb, and straight away you can already tell why it's called Spiderweb, because of that spiderweb pattern and design all across the underlays on the upper, which is most notable on that toe box, on the medial and lateral sides, and of course the heel counter. Now this Spiderweb design, it's got that sort of holographic and reflective accent going on, but one thing to note that is really cool and that you don't see nowadays. So if you've got these booming in the UV light rays and you shift into a darkened area, these will actually glow in green, which also applies to the outsole as well, but more about that later. Now we've got the nubuck material on the overlays that surround the toe box, and we've got those suede Nike swooshes on the mid panels, and on the mud flaps we've got that leather finish, and we've got those black TPU mid panels with the Air Max writing in green. We've got those normal flat black laces and the standard setup to the lacing system with those TPU accents, and this very cushioned tongue which is also covered in black with the Nike swoosh and Air Max branding to the top. And of course it's blackened on the in collar and the insole with the Nike Air coloured in limelight. Now finishing off on the outsole, it's got that semi-translucent green with also the black accents to the iconic waffle design to the outsole. Now these translucent panels on the outsole, like I've mentioned earlier, does actually glow in the dark. And I am such a big fan of these glow in the dark accents. It just goes so well with this Halloween inspired silhouette. So broskis, that is my first look to the Air Max 90 Spiderweb, and at first glance I've got to say I'm actually quite surprised. I didn't expect the glow in the dark accents and some of the subtle features on this sneaker. I kind of thought they were just gimmicks, but seeing this sneaker actually glow in the dark, it reminds me of those sneakers as a kid that you're fascinated by, the ones that would light up on the midsole, and of course just like these, glow in the dark. As a kid I was fascinated by those sneakers, and this slightly brings me back to my childhood. But yes, this sneaker does something different to the Air Max 90, but does it feel different? Now I went for my normal size 9 UK, and I can confirm for me that these actually fit true to size. But one thing I will mention, compared to the OG Recrafts of recent, these do fit a tiny bit tighter, but for me, still, they are true to size. So when we talk about comfort, the Air Max 90, in my opinion, is just one of those sneakers I can always associate with comfort. And honestly, this isn't any different. We've got that classic feel to the Air Max 90. However, I'm going to compare it to the OG Recrafts yet again. And there is a little less padding compared to those sneakers. And the only part of the sneaker that is still very padded is that tongue. But to be fair, there isn't much that this takes away from the classic Air Max 90. It is for me still right up there. So out of 10 for comfort, I am going to give an 8.5. So does this sneaker change anything in terms of the ventilation and the breathability? I'm thankful to say no. These materials aren't really new to the Air Max 90. We've got majority of the upper in that mesh finish, which is complemented with those nubuck overlays and of course those leather mud flaps. But even though this is coming out in the winter months, apart from the mud flaps, there isn't really much weatherproofing to this sneaker. But you know what they say, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. So out of 10 for breathability, I am going to give an 8. So broskies, my favourite Air Max of all time, the legendary Air Max 90. If I had it my way, I would most likely wear the Air Max 90s on my wedding day. That's how much I love this Air Max. But this spiderweb edition, is it just a gimmick? Is it my cup of tea? And most importantly, is it a buy or a buy? Now I've got to say, when the news came out that this sneaker was due to drop, I wasn't really drawn to it and I wasn't even going to cop. But I was at Westfield, I was doing a bit of shopping, and I went into FootAsylum when it came out on launch. Just being nosy, you know, browsing and snooping. And there they were on display. I actually snapped them and put them on my Instagram story. But having them in hand, there was something about them. But I've got to say, in all honesty, the glow in the dark accents, that spiderweb design to the mesh toe box, and the contrast with the black and the Limelight colorway, I've got to say this actually is my cup of tea. At my big age, I didn't think I would like these, but there's just something about a glow in the dark sneaker that does it for me. But overall broskies, I am really digging these. It's something new that they've brought to the Air Max 90, so I am gonna give a buy. But broskies, let me know what you think. Are these a bit of a gimmick? Have you already copped a pair? Or is this a total miss? Leave all your comments down below, and of course I will be pinning the best one. Anyways broskies, that's enough from me. I do hope you liked this video, and of course don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and of course until the next episode, take care.